Hello and welcome to the Graceful Connections Festival of Grace. I'm Sophie Bidar and I'm delighted to be your host on this journey as we celebrate and activate grace through its myriad facets and expressions. I'm so grateful you've chosen to be here today, bringing your unique energy into our circle of connection. Your presence honors the calling within you to celebrate and activate the grace of divine self-love. And that's exactly what our channel of grace today, Alicia Power, will be sharing with us. And we know Alicia to always deliver high octave, soul-reaching transmissions directly from the Creator beings. So prepare yourself for profoundly activating and really reality-shifting experience. So let's begin. Take a moment to let go of anything that doesn't serve this present moment. With each breath, feel yourself arriving more fully here. As we set our intention, may all that flows within our sacred space, be it words, vibrations, energies, serve the highest evolution of our souls and extend outward in service to all. I invite you to open your heart and your mind to receive all the brilliance that awaits. Activating your connection to the new Earth crystalline grid and to the galactic center, the center of truth. You are perfectly held, both grounded and lifted. You are safe. You can relax. You are ready and open to receive. Now I'm calling the orb of grace from the heart of the universe and placing the orb of grace around our gathering, each and every one of us, that we be held in this orb of grace and infused with grace all along our time together. As grace permeates our field, it harmonizes and magnifies all that seeks alignment and illuminates all that longs for expression in accordance with divine will and the order of grace. And breathe. Beautiful. Within the orb of grace, I'm delighted to welcome Alicia Power, a master healer and telepath. Alicia is an envoy of a rare, elevated psychic light from realms of creator beings of universes. And today, Alicia is sharing with us the grace of divine self-love as the creator beings activate your divine remembering. What a blessing to have you with us today, Alicia. Welcome.
Thank you, Sophie. Thank you so much. It's a great, great pleasure to be here today. And as always, a great pleasure to be that envoy of creator beings and that expression of the creator beings. Oh, my goodness. And all of my beautiful, what would you call it? The pantheon. The pantheon teams of beings that I work with. There's creator beings and there are other teams as well that I work with of spirit mentors, and they are all working in harmony together as a team. And, to present, to heal, to uplift, to upgrade, everyone who's listening. So they are present as well. Anyway, it's a beautiful family. It's just beautiful. I just love it. So I'm kind of the little tip of the iceberg of a really team of beings who are so keen to kind of deliver something that awakens a consciousness in everyone listening today. So I'm so excited to hear how they're going to unfold this knowledge today. Anyway, so much fun.
Yes, we're excited as well. We're in magnificent company. So thank you for being here with us, Alicia. And everyone, Alicia will also gift us today an inner process experience, creator being, soul scan, and release. But for now, let's go straight to the core of the grace of divine self-love. And I'd like to simply ask you, Alicia, what transmission do the creator beings and any other beings who are showing up today, what do they have for us today? We are ready and open to receiving it. Thank you.
Gosh, let's go. Let's do it. Let's tune in. So these beings, these creative beings, before you and I started recording, I was just mentioning to you that you and I are standing in a room full of creative beings really high up before I phoned in. And I was assisted up to this place where they are, where we probably are going to be going there in the inner journey, and just to feel their presence. So they would love to say right up front that the grace of divine self-love is really looking into a mirror. And right at this time on planet Earth, there is such a need for all light workers to be capable, to be able to look into a mirror and to perceive themselves as not just the walking, talking human. I'm speaking to the converted here. Everybody on this call I know is a light worker. And I know all of you are putting your hand up right through your whole life to say, I want to know who I am. I want to know who I am as a being of light. So I'm talking already to all of you who are already hungry, already know consciously that this is what you want to do. And the creator beings are saying, this incredible topic of divine self-love and the grace of divine self-love is really almost like the biggest topic from one point of view, that your entire lifetime is walking around trying to find the mirror to see how big you go as a light being. Who are you as a light being? That sense of recognition of yourself as a being of light, temporarily having a very short time here as a human in this physical experience, in this physical hologram, this dream of physicality. And so I remember, just really quickly, when I was a teenager, even when I was a young child, being incredibly curious. I remember I think I was 11, I was in a bookstore, and I was very keen on reading science fiction, and I was in a bookstore looking at a pile of science fiction books, of a new science fiction book, and one of the great masters of science fiction, I can't quite remember who it was. And then this thought occurred to me, where do they get their imagination and their ideas from? And then this next thought occurred to me that it must be past the mind. They must somehow move past their limited framework of their mind and their thoughts and allow whole new worlds to enter their imagination, for them to write about, dynamics and situations in these brilliant science fiction scenarios that they write about. And that was almost one of the earliest memories that I have of reaching beyond the mind, reaching beyond the human. And from there, I remember as a teenager and as a young adult, walking around wondering why I feel special. And I'm laughing because, it's so frowned on in our society. Don't think you're special, right? Quote unquote. And yet there's this brilliant light inside of one that's trying to burst out beyond the human that you are. And up until a certain point, most of us who didn't connect with this in childhood, most of us were hearing everybody's thoughts and opinions of us our families and the social circles we were in. And we were trying to stay small. And but deep down underneath, I knew I was very, very special. And very early, at 18, I connected with a powerful Indian spiritual master, Indian spiritual guru, and jumped into the infinite ocean of God source consciousness through meditation practices with this real avatar from India. So I was very hungry. But the story today is, how did we find the truth about who we are? How do we look into a mirror to see who we truly are? And I'm trying to put my finger on, what I'm describing here is this voracious, raw longing inside everyone as we're growing up to break out of the limitations of what everyone is saying that we are. And gradually, like a jigsaw, put the pieces together, discovering one seminar, one spiritual teacher after another, one foot in front of the other, to learn about who you are as a light being, as a being of light, not only logically and by reading books, but through raw discovery. And in my case, after 16 years of following the Indian spiritual guru, opening my mind up to the worlds of spirit and having spirit teachers and spirit mentors, having clear dialogues with spirit teachers and spirit mentors in the worlds of spirit, who invited me into spirit journeys. I was doing energy healing 34 years ago as an energy healer then, and as I watched them work inside of auric fields, my own recognition of who I was, because as I was watching the light bodies of other people being rewired with energy technicians and light technicians, my own recognition of who I was being unpeeled, right? The blinkers were coming off my own eyes of who I was. And it was such a compassionate, gradual, it really, really was, everyone, this gradual unfolding to myself of who I was over the years. It was so carefully done by the worlds of spirit. And even to this day, I still have moments where in deep silence and deep quiet and in the presence of my spirit mentors, they will start to say something and help me understand the next big step of understanding of who I am. So it keeps going. Doesn't matter how long you've been playing in the worlds of spirit with your spirit mentors, there is another stage of discovery of who you are as a light being. It just keeps getting bigger. And broader and wider ownership. And what I mean by that is of who we think we are and what we think reality is, and how who we are as a light being interacts with reality, interacts with anything that's around you. So what I'm describing here is that the more you discover yourself as a light being, the more power you have around managing external energies or internal energies, and managing how anything shows up around you or even inside of you. So there's more power the more you understand who you are as a light being. And today the topic is the grace of divine self-love. And the self-love part is the recognition beyond your logic, beyond any thought, the recognition of who you are and what you are. The beautiful recognition, the homecoming, the reunion of you as a vast being of light. And there is a lot of love there in that matchmaking moment. These incredible creative beings are giving me these words, which are just, I am giggling because it's so beautiful, the matchmaking moment and the reunion and the love, the divinity, the divine self-love, and the grace of that. So I just described a journey of 35 years, in fact, 40 plus years of seeking to find the knowledge of self and of what myself is, not through books, not through spiritual teachers, but directly through interactions with the worlds of spirit and them taking me on spirit journeys and them showing me who I am. And through conversations and through permission-giving moments where they, inquire to me, am I ready for the next stage of recognition? So there's so much grace there. There's so much beauty and compassion in moments of being in the presence of your spirit mentors. And they're pulling you along, right, by the nose, kind of, like they're pulling you along into deeper and deeper acknowledgement and surrender to, the word acknowledgement is a really, really good word, because we fight against the recognition of our power. We almost recoil from the recognition of our power. It's like, how dare I think I'm powerful? Surely not. Surely I don't have that kind of power. I'm just a very disempowered human. Or I don't have much knowledge and much breadth and width of direct experience in the worlds of spirit, and I don't feel empowered, right? There's so many voices in our head and so much doubt in our consciousness some of the time. So I just want to reach right through this call and give you a hug and let you know that you are a vast being of light. You have journeyed and traveled, not even through human lifetimes, certainly through human lifetimes, but long before that as a soul, exploring and experiencing and training how to hold your light. Training. Being with your unique, personal spirit mentors who love you, unbounded love. They're asking me to say that phrase, unbounded love, where they fly with you in the worlds of spirit, gently offer you challenges and moments where you have to choose and develop maturity and strength and resilience as a soul way before any lifetimes. Very long trajectory and journey with spirit mentors, walking with you, flying with you, helping you learn, helping you develop power, helping you develop capability of self-love, capability of the power to hold the love that you are, the light that you are. So this is what you are, way beyond any human recognition of yourself, even in other lifetimes. Because when we, in most of our lifetimes, when we incarnated as a human, we lost our recognition of ourselves as a light being. It was kind of like a door closed, and we forgot. And so the tragedy quite often was that we were left to stumble and work very, very hard to find our light and then to hold our light as a human in our incarnations. In some incarnations, we were granted the grace of full remembrance, and we were a master and a teacher and a mentor. But in many lifetimes, the door closed and we forgot. And that could be this lifetime. And that's just sad for the soul. And that sadness does sit and creates doubt. It sits inside of us somewhere in the archives, in the ancient unconscious memory, soul memory. That sadness is there of forgetting. And all the years in this lifetime of forgetting who we are as a soul. I'm drawing a picture here, describing a picture of the truth of who you are, so beyond you as a human. So beyond you as a human. So it's very poignant, and there's a lot of love surrounding you right now as you're listening to this story. And I'm being prompted to say that there's a journey ahead of you of discovery, nothing to do with books, not even anything to do with words at all, whether it's a spiritual teacher's words or, words in a book. That can be triggers for sure. But the trigger opens something else. It opens the door to remembrance. And I want to start talking now about something which also helps that moment of being triggered into remembrance. It helps it. It amplifies it. And that is that your spirit mentors that are still with you, that are still walking with you, and other spirit mentors, like, for example, today I'm introducing, for those of you who have not connected with the creator beings that I channel. So there are other teams of spirit mentors, and I just want to mention that over the years now, 35 years or so, that when I first started connecting with the worlds of spirit up until now, 35 years, something that's a little bit unusual is that I was passed up very, very early, after the first 2 years, to these creator being levels. And what that creates is acceleration of awakening. Because these beings, these creator beings, just really quickly overview, is they sit at a level in the worlds of spirit that oversee universes. There are creator beings who create universes. And then they have creator beings above them who oversee the teams who create universes. So I've now been passed up, and I now currently work with the teams that oversee all universes and even teams of creator beings above them. So just to let you know that there's an interesting hierarchy in the worlds of spirit, and it's not about coercive power, it's about force of capability. And so the higher you go, there's an ease of capability of shifting shadow into light, of overseeing dynamics in the worlds below them. Many universes. I'm talking about not galaxies or solar systems or stars. I'm talking about universes and spirit universes that back up physical universes. And I'm talking about creator beings that oversee all universes. So very high up, and with their force, with their speed, with their acceleration, with their force of light, when it connects with you and touches you, it changes you. And what's relevant about the grace of divine self-love is their mission, the reason 30 plus years ago now they tapped me on the shoulder and wanted to connect with me was they wanted to start inputting their quality of light, their frequency of very, 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 very high light into the physical spheres of energy, the force fields that are just behind the physical dimension, so that shadow energy and anything that is not light could be switched off quickly and easily with their force of light. But also to meet light workers like yourself, and to very, very quickly, as quickly as possible through their acceleration, through their speed, to trigger open your remembering. The way that they do that, they download very high frequency spirit codes, light codes, into your personal auric layers, your soul bodies of light. Those codes trigger your awakening. And that right there is a major grace of divine self-love that spirit mentors offer and make available powerful light codes, highly accelerated light codes that switch and trigger your connection to your memory of yourself as a vast being of light. That's a major, major shortcut. It's a major grace. And these beings, they're wanting me to say right now that they do walk with any human who puts their hand up for this kind of speed and acceleration of awakening. They walk with you. We're going to be doing a process near the end of this discourse that they're giving right now. I'm just following their words, word for word. And at the end, we're going to go into a little inner journey where you meet a creator being, get to know them. You can go there again in the replay. And what they're saying is that from that point onwards, after you meet with them, they will walk with you quietly in the background worlds, in the spirit worlds. And if you turn your attention to them regularly, you will build a connection, you will build a highway of love, you will build a partnership. And the moment that you turn your attention to them, they will ask you for permission to download more light codes, more awakening codes into you. So there's a very practical reason to connect with very elevated, high authority partnerships in the worlds of spirit. And I know as a light worker, all of you listening to this, you're very keen, you want to accelerate. Most importantly, you want to maximize your capability in this life to show your light and to mentor and uplift and support your beloved community, the human community, anyone around you. There's also, of course, your private longing and yearning to awaken and to be sitting in your own power for no other reason other than commune with God's source and commune with your own light and commune with your spirit mentors in that love. And keep moving higher and keep moving higher and keep moving higher in your remembrance, in your awakening. I'm not presuming that you want to stand on a soapbox and give lectures or train people or even heal people. I'm not presuming at all. I always say that even if you're sitting in your lounge chair at home, if you allow the Creator Being's light, you might be on a call like this where their light is imbuing itself into your auric field and changing you. You're changing the world. You're changing the electromagnetic patterns of light in the entire collective just by allowing it into those spheres of light that are closest to your human body, because they act as transmitters, going sideways, radiating out sideways into the collective. So just sitting at home in your armchair, in your lounge chair, you can make the biggest difference by just allowing that light into your auric field and declaring to the creative beings that, yep, you're available to hold that light. You're available to radiate that light into the collective. You don't have to be pushing yourself out there as a public figure in any kind of way. Or I always say that. This is, in a way, it's beyond any logic. You know, we have thoughts in our minds, like a logic in our minds that, oh, I've got to do this or I've got to do that. Excuse me. And if I don't do this thing or that thing, I'm a failure or I haven't fulfilled my soul purpose. So I just want to say your soul purpose is even bigger than that. Your soul purpose is awakening to who you are, partnering with your spirit mentors, holding that light, communing with your spirit mentors, spending time with them, and awakening. And what I want to put my finger on right there, I just said it, the action and the activity of awakening is your soul purpose. So if you do it in private, you're fulfilling your soul purpose. And in case your logic wants to hear more about that, is that you actively taking action to awaken to what and who you are as a light being that instantaneously awakens the collective. So your journey to awakening is instantly changing the frequencies around you. And everyone is touched by that. Everyone changes when you change upwards. When you take the next step up the ladder, the collective changes. That's been, as I quite often say, that's a saying of the great sages and wisdom keepers throughout time. Know yourself. That's your priority. Because everything changes from that pivot point. Your world, the world, changes when you awaken. And that again, I just, that phrase, the grace of divine self-love, we can't say enough how powerful that phrase is. The grace of divine self-love. The more you recognize who you are, the more the entire world changes. So your recognition is given as a gift, as a grace. The spirit world, I'm being asked to say, offers it to you on a plate. The gift of awakening. This is something many people don't think about or consider, that awakening is a gift from the myriad of spirit mentors that are standing around you. We can knock on the door and bang on the door and work hard, but awakening has nothing to do with any of those actions. Awakening is you being in front of a spirit mentor asking, and your spirit mentor rewiring and repatterning your auric field so that memory, like a liquid light, floods back in to your system. It's a gift. It's bestowed. So from this point onwards, when you leave this call and you listening to this, if there's one thing to take with you as a little red ribbon, wrapped up gift in your hands as you walk away, is the memory of what I'm saying, is that awakening is a gift from your spirit mentors. You can certainly, and I find honestly, when I stand in front of my spirit mentors and ask for something, I don't know if I remember any moment like that. And there's been a lot of them over 35 years. I don't remember any moment where they've said no. So those moments are very precious, and the door is open. Those spirit mentors are all powerful. And when a human asks for self-love, for self-recognition, for awakening, would they say no? I don't think so. So I'm just saying, if you decide to stand in front of your spirit mentors regularly and have a moment of very sincere, very gentle, very heartfelt request to awaken, that travels straight to the echelons of love and light, the beings of love and light, where they sit, where they hold their conferences, where they sit together and think together and make decisions, councils of light. So that request travels to them, and they consider, they look at your soul records, your soul history, and are you ready? They look at the line in the sand that you're about to step over to awaken a significant, a little bit more. They look at that line and go, is this person ready? And they're telling me to say they will bend over backwards to make sure that that response is a yes. And they're saying they take a look to see if you're ready. And they're quickly saying something that's important for many people who begin to work directly with the worlds of spirit, the spirit mentors, and communicate with them, is that when you ask for awakening and they say yes, certain intense dynamics could start happening. It's like realities around you start buffeting around. It's like you're in a windstorm and you have to hold on until everything calms down again. But you've moved through a vortex or a force field of intensity. And there's been a deep recognition in the middle of that intensity. I'm just describing a dynamic that could happen after you've said, yes, I want to awaken. It's a kind of a test. It's a kind of a moment of clearing fear, subliminal fear, out of your archives, out of your soul history or your Akashic records. So when they look at, are you ready to awaken, they look at how brittle the fabric of your soul light bodies are. How encrusted are they with fear and hesitation and doubt and sadness and grief and rage, all kinds of frequencies, resonances. So they will look at what's sitting in your memory from this lifetime, from other lifetimes. And as I said, these guys are so gentle, and so they will work very carefully to match what's appropriate for you. And what I'm describing here is it's a journey. It is a journey, yes. Clearing sadnesses out of your auric field, clearing sadnesses out of your Akashic records, ancient soul history, is very, very useful to cool the engine, so the engine's not a hot engine as you're traveling down the highway in a car, right? To cool it down, to calm it down. So the more dust you can get out of your auric field, the calmer your auric field is. And the easier they can drop new software that triggers awakening in you. So there's a job to be done, there's work to be done, there's clearing to be done, there's all of that. And every time you make a decision to jump on a healing table with an etheric healer, etheric body energy healer, a spiritual healer, that is very carefully designed work by the teams of spirit beings that arrive and work in your Akashic records and work in your soul light bodies. Very carefully designed, especially if you're already, as I mentioned, creating moments where you're standing in front of a spirit mentor and asking for awakening. They put you on a program. They will design a clearing program. They will gently, invisibly prompt you to ring up an energy healer and book a session. And during that session, their program is in play. Different teams at different levels will be going in and looking at different layers of your auric field. There'll be supervisors present in the worlds of spirit who know the agenda to awaken you, who will be very carefully guiding the spirit teams, and all to create a result at the end. And hopefully you will book yourself in for a series of these, not one after the other, but giving yourself at least a month in between, because your auric patterns need to settle down. The engine of the car needs to cool down before you go in for another mechanical checkup. Finding all the right metaphors here. So over time, there's strength in your auric field. Now, I do want to say that when you work with the creator beings and there are many opportunities to work with me on inner journeys where we go to meet creative beings, and that level of authority are the ones that have you on healing tables. In the inner spirit journeys, we travel up to these incredible stations of light, and you're lying on a healing table in the worlds of spirit, and the creative being levels and their technician teams, very accelerated, come in and work with such precision and such intensity of purpose. They're laser lights going into your Akashic records so carefully, so with huge knowledge of who you are as a soul being of light. And in those kind of spirit journeys, they will go to some of the big sadness memories in your soul, and they will begin to transmute them with many, many different aspects to that. Just what a simple word of transmutation. So many complex aspects of that. But they'll be doing it really fast with very high authority. Lots of acceleration there. So in those kinds of situations, like not exactly being with a human spiritual healer, but traveling up into the world of spirit, where we are in creative being force fields with them, and we are getting major surgery done on our Akashic records with their technicians. So huge opportunities there for acceleration of cleaning up that weight, cleaning up the drag. It's a great word. For awakening to happen more easily, smoothly, cleanly. So I've just described a real dynamic, everyone. You guys are probably really experienced light workers. You already know all this. What I'm framing up here is speed and acceleration, and adding in this element of the creative beings who are real. I've worked with them and talked with them every single day. Clearly, I'm a real clear telepath with them, and I'm an energy healer with them, and have been working on people's auric fields for over 3 decades with them. Really experienced in looking into auric fields, really experienced in how the spirit world works in auric fields. So just giving you a hand up with the possibility of speed to awakening, to self-recognition, to remembrance of yourself as soul, to remembrance of that incredible power that you hold in the moment of remembering yourself as a being of light. Because in that moment, what you declare as a preference, as a need, as a soul, there's massive power in it, in the moment of awakening, in the moment of remembering. It's really interesting. There's a strange kind of setup in our world, in the reality that we live in, and in the spirit world too, is the moment of feeling the truth of what you are just holds almost unlimited power in that moment. You own reality. Just quietly adding that in. Your logic might not understand it. There's a part of you that does understand it. And what I'm creating is a little gap in your understanding. And there'll be a moment where you look back and remember what I'm saying, because it's a truth. It's how the plasma of the reality screen works. It's how your soul light, the way that it interacts with the plasma of the reality screen, the energetic plasma, how it connects with that energetic plasma of the reality screen. That's how it works. And the deeper, and that's nearly infinite, the deeper your recognition goes, and right there is self-love, divine self-love, the deeper your recognition goes, the more power you have to change realities. It's got nothing to do with doing anything on the outside. So I'm letting you in on a secret. And it's all to do with self-recognition and self-love, the power of that. The journey to get there, the journey of unpeeling and unfolding that self-love inside of you, it's a thing. This is spiritual training. This is real spiritual training. In my early years, from the age of 18, I followed that spiritual master for 16 years. I was in an ashram, lived celibate for 6 years. We were meditating and in full service to humanity, and I was delivering satsang, which is discourses, several times a week to hundreds of people over those 16 years. So what nourished me was deep inside of me my connection to God's source through meditation and through these spiritual practices. There is spiritual training right there. And then you put your hand in the hand of an accelerated spirit mentor, and they begin your spiritual training of self-recognition, of self-love, and of awakening to what you are as a vast being of light. There's all of your soul past lives. There's all of that, all the beautiful stories of your past lives. And even beyond that is who you are and what you are in the higher echelons of light, way above all past lives. That's a recognition. That's a story. That's a path. That's a road to walk to come to that recognition. It's an extraordinary idea just to hold in your mind and feel into it for a moment. Very, very, very precious after we end this call, just to sit with that awareness of what I've just described. The power of who you are, of what you are. I'm just going to tune in with the creative beings again and just see if there's anything else they want to mention. Oh no, they're very happy with that main point of your capability, of your power as a being of light, and your gradual unfolding of your recognition. More and more and more, larger and larger, bigger and bigger of what that is. And again, it's nearly unlimited and infinite of what that is. And it travels way past and way up above all past lives. Anyway, just a quick rounding statement there of what they want to convey today as a possibility for you in this lifetime. And right now in my mind are extending the hand to you and saying, we are ready to clean up your auric field, and to put you on an accelerated path of remembering, to bring back the sweetness, the freedom, the clarity of an incredible inner strength, of an incredible inner power in you. They're saying that is available, and they've got all the capability of doing it with all their teams of technicians. Yeah. I just want to mention, Sophie, I just want to mention that, and we'll be talking about it a little bit more in depth in a moment, but in a couple of weeks from today, the creative beings have invited all of us as a group onto a 1 hour live energy, any spirit technician healing with them right up high in their world, on those healing beds, in that beautiful giant sphere of light that we go into. And where all of these technicians, these spirit technicians, will be working delicately, carefully, in enormous detail inside our Akashic records to retrain our consciousness to remember. And one of the reasons they want to offer this, one of the really big reasons they're saying, is that all of the powerful light beings who've incarnated onto the planet right at this moment and are walking and talking, they perhaps know themselves as light workers. They perhaps know themselves as someone who is shining their light and wants to support and uplift people and help in this time of great uncertainty on the planet. That there are forces of shadow that are flowing in the background energy fields, in the blueprints, the energy blueprints around Mother Earth, and behind the collective of humanity. These are very powerful forces. They've got, they are very real energy. It's a real frequency of shadow. And light workers at this time need strength. They need help from the worlds of spirit to hold their light quietly, gently, comfortably, carefully, to hold it steady, to hold light steady, so that we're sitting in a sense of comfort, so that we're not stressed, so that we're not uncomfortable. And so this 1 hour deep forensic healing with these very high authority spirit technicians, spirit surgeons, it's designed for the light workers. It's designed for all of us as light beings to be more comfortable holding our light. And we all have past life history, which may be we might have experienced moments where it was very uncomfortable in those past life experiences, even in those higher realms where before we even became humans and before all incarnation, something might have happened as well. But in our soul history, there might be fear, and that fear creates a current fear. It's like triggers a current fear in us. That's what's going to be looked at. And mainly, the main focus of all these teams of spirit surgeons is going to support you as a being of light so that you stay comfortable, calm, open-hearted, relaxed, and self-loving, connected to your divine self. They want to help that. They want to look at the structure of your auric field. They want to look at the matrices of light in your auric field, and they want to see what's sitting in there and what's causing little hiccups, little triggers, little fears, little anxieties that may actually be getting triggered from ancient moments that your soul experienced. So this particular one coming up is designed to support those that are holding the light, those that are here to hold the light. If that's you, I welcome you to join in. And Sophie, you've got a link somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Alicia. Before I give the link, I just want to mention the creator beings said, as you asked them, you checked in with them, that they are very happy with the transmission. I'm very happy. I'm sure everyone in the audience is very happy as well and feeling much, much gratitude for the richness and the depth of this transmission that has just been offered. I believe that this is one to return to. Thankfully, we have a replay, so we can return to and absorb more of it, let it sink in within our being even further and deeper. And maybe there is so much that has been offered. Maybe there were bits and pieces that were missed. So one to return to, definitely. Now, the special offer page, go to gracefulconnections.com. That's graceful with 2 L's, as in full of grace, gracefulconnections.com/Festival Alicia. in one word. If you're on the webcast right now, you have a button and a link that you can click and get to this page. If you're on the replay, just scroll down the page and discover Alicia's special offer. Do you want to go into more details? Well, yeah, there are more details to mention. Okay, let me wrap this up. If you like, Alicia, there is option 2. So the whole package is called Divine Self-Love and Soul Light Body Upgrade. You have option 2. Let me begin with option 2. Option 2 is this live session that Alicia just mentioned that's happening in 2 weeks. So it's on October 26th live. There will be a replay, of course, so we can return to it and keep working with it. And it is the 1-hour live creator being spirit surgery, the soul light rescue healing. And I was going to ask you, Alicia, why now? Why is it important now? You've covered this. You've covered the I would say the urgency of the moment, right? Of the shadow, so right? That
so important. We're pretty good at holding our light, us light workers, but we do need help, and we need advanced help. Really advanced help, and help from the levels of the creative beings who are so high up that when they surround us on a healing bed, the speed, the capability, the amount of work that they do, the scope, the wide scope of what they cover and look at when they scan our soul and all the needs of our soul. Anyway, it's like there's no words to cover the power, the depth, and the gift of what these guys can do, of what all of these light technicians can do with the speed of what they can cover and the depth. Soul gateways closed, soul contracts renegotiated, instant pattern release of ancient sorrow and ancient grief. These are sort of shock moments that still sit there. I sometimes call it like the windscreen in a car, when there's been a rock hit the windscreen, there's like a whole display of cracks. That's what it looks like in the auric field. And they go in and find these places and moments in your soul history and so quickly close the hole where shadow might be leaking in to your life now. And so it's a very fast, complex thing that they do in record time. So I'm just sort of mentioning that, and they're just saying there's a wave of intensity at the moment moving through humanity, moving through the background fields of planet Earth. It's a washing machine at the moment. And so we are humans, but we're also energy beings, and we are walking in the energy soup. And that energy, it's like walking into a strong wind. So we need help to stay calm, comfortable, and relaxed in the middle of that strong wind. That's the big thing. That's the main thing, and that's their rewiring. That's the reason for now.
Yes, that's the reason for now. And yes, thank you for that. I think one thing I loved, there are many things I loved in the transmissions and many moments of, full body shivers or even tears that came to my eyes as I was not just listening, but really bathing in the transmission. One thing I loved especially is this addressing that, yes, we may be light workers, one may be a healer, maybe a teacher, or aspire to be, or a channeler, but one may also be sitting in their armchair in their living room and be the light being, right? And I love how the invitation is not specifically to the light workers, but to the light beings. And I feel
Mm.
that we need to all, whether we're a light worker or not, because there can be kind of a pressure that we put on ourselves, or I have to do the work. But the creator beings said themselves that there is nothing we need to do other than raising our hand and accepting the invitation, right? So
Mm.
it's not about the work, it's about the light and it's about the being. So this is offered, the invitation is extended to all light beings,
That's exactly right. Beautiful.
right?
Thank you for just bringing our attention back to that very important point.
Mhm.
It's an
Mhm.
inner, it's an inner job.
Yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
inner road.
So this is for all of us who, yes, are light beings, know themselves as light beings, suspect themselves to be light beings. And also one thing I love is how it was said that there's always more in the journey of awakening. And so this and all the work that you do with the creator beings meets us where we are. Some of us are more advanced on our journey, some of us are just beginning. Wherever we are on the journey, this is about awakening to our next level, right? And you and the creator beings meet us where we are,
Mm.
right?
Beautifully,
As
beautifully
a
said.
light
That's
being,
exactly right. Yes.
right?
There's
Thank
nobody
you.
else here except you.
Mhm.
I am
Mhm.
alone in this experience. Each one of you listening is alone in this experience with your spirit mentors. You're walking and
Mhm.
talking in an energy soup and a shimmering field of energy that looks solid, that looks like a 3D, like a physical solid thing, but it's not. You are alone with your spirit mentors,
Mhm.
experiencing experiences. There's no one else here except you. It's just you.
You as a light being. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Okay, so this is option 2. And with both options, there's a bonus we're going to talk about in just a moment. Option 2 is the live spirit surgery session. Again, it's happening in 2 weeks, October 26th. And there's going to be a replay for anyone who cannot join live. And as I often join Alicia and the creator beings on the replay, because it doesn't always work for my schedule in Europe. If you're in Europe, you might want to join with the replay. I can guarantee to you that you get the same. You get the same as the live experience. So you've also created option 1, which is a full package in which you've added a component to offer even more help and support to us as light workers, light beings. And it is the soul light body rewiring 1 hour on demand deep dive energy healing workshop with you,
Mm.
Alicia, and senior spirit surgeons. Can you talk about this 1 hour workshop?
Yes. So that one is focused on soul fear that's sitting in our archives. A little bit similar to what I've just talked about, but the entire one, it's actually an hour and 45 minutes. I'd sort of put an hour there, but it's quite a long. Again, you're on the surgery table. I am describing what I'm watching all these spirit technicians do in our auric fields. And so just to let you know, it's a recorded spirit journey, but Sophie, as you said, they all show up and it's very, very live. It's very interactive. It's very personal to you. You're on the receiving end of live spirit teams. Even if it's a recording, you're on the receiving end of live spirit teams that touch you, that are interacting with you, that are connecting with you, that are loving you, that begin to work on your auric field. So even though it's a recording, it's a live experience. And so that particular one is focused on soul archives of fear. So yeah, 1.5 hour.
Beautiful.
1.5 hour. 1 hour and 45 minutes. Nice long, juicy one. Very powerful.
Extra support for the light beings.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
And so this is option one. You have both the live event and the on-demand workshop. And with both options one and two, there's a bonus, the soul workout, 26 module series of 5-minute soul workouts with Alicia. What's going on with these? This is meant to be a daily practice, I suppose, right?
Yes, all weekly if you wish. So it's a beautiful course of 26 little mini workouts with your soul. So it gives you an opportunity to connect with your soul, to talk with your soul, to hear your soul talking back to you, and to brainstorm with your own soul the week ahead or the day ahead. And you get used to, the training is for you to notice what your soul is preferring in terms of what outcomes it's wanting for the energy flow of the day or for the energy flow of the week. And lots of training. So it's fully channeled, little 5-minute, beautiful little inner journeys where you're trained by spirit to connect with your own soul, to partner with your own soul, and also for you to start feeling the clarity that's coming from your soul about what it wants. So it's a beautiful little course, and 26 of those little mini workouts, and I just love offering it. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
People love it.
And I love, as you said, as a weekly format, it sounds really, really nice that we spend actually probably better than a daily, even though some may find that the daily suits them. Wonderful. Okay, so option one is the full package with the live event and the on-demand workshop and the bonus soul workout. Option two is the live event and the bonus soul workout. And I really love that you're offering to our community of Graceful Connections the exclusivity of this live event, of a deep spirit surgery session. Alicia, this is so special and so unique. So really all my gratitude to you and the creator beings for offering that. Both packages are very generously priced, and there's a PayPal for payment option available in many countries. So get on board with the journey here. And stay with us all along our time together. We'll be sharing a special announcement at the end of our gathering, and you will not want to miss this, so stay with us. For now, Alicia, let's go back to experiencing more with the creator beings. You're going to guide us through an inner process, creator being, soul scan and release. So please share with us what we need to know about this process, and when you're ready, let's get started.
Thank you. Oh, it's always so exciting. I was just talking to the creator beings just now, going, "Hey guys, we're going to start. We're about to start our actual inner journey right now." So they're all ready. They're telling me to say they're all very keen to meet everyone. So we're going to go on an inner visualization. I call them spirit journeys, and I'm not sure as soon as we start, because it's channeled, so I just follow how they are playing it out for all of us. But we're going to eventually stand in front of a beautiful spirit mentor, and this will be a creator being. And this will be an opportunity for you to send a thought to this creator being and ask them for help in a part of your life that you think really needs help, really needs upgrading, really needs uplifting. But also we're going to allow that particular creator being to look at our auric field, to look at our own soul light bodies right in that moment. And that creator being is going to scan and look for any fear, any shadow that just today, right in this moment, that we have. Because many of us have come to this call from a full day at work maybe, or a day of activities, and we've been with a lot of people possibly, so you might have picked up a little bit of something throughout the day, so that will be looked at and you will feel lighter. But the most important thing the creator beings are saying for me to say right now is that actually they're going to reach in quite deeply, and they're going to start looking at your soul needs, the needs of your soul, as someone who loves to hold light, steady. And they're saying that if you choose to jump on the live call in a couple of weeks, they already have your name and number and your checklist of things that they will have decided that they want to do, because they're going to do a little scan right in a moment. Okay, everyone, let's play. Closing the eyes, taking a nice deep breath. Just enjoying this moment of having a deep breath, relaxing. It's so exciting. I always find it so exciting that we're having this audience with a creator being. All right, everyone, if you could swish a golden bubble of light around you, and inside the sphere of light, inside this bubble, standing in front of you in your mind's eye, is a beautiful golden being of light. It could feel or look like an angel, doesn't have to. And if you feel comfortable, you can step forward and allow yourself to be embraced by this being. This is an escort being. It's not a creator being. This is a being who's going to escort you upwards to the place where we're going to meet a creator being. So it's a beautiful being that's wanting to serve and support you. And if you feel to, everyone, I'd like you to step into this being and merge with them just for a moment and become this being. That's a sensation to have, feeling of merging. Just for a tiny moment. And now step back out again, everyone. And now I'd love you to pretend and imagine, switch on your imagination, and imagine that there's quite a large column of light around both of you, because you're both inside your bubble of light, and around the bubble of light is a column of light that just goes upwards. And you, in your bubble of light with your escort being, are moving up this column of light now quite quickly. And if we look up in our imagination, we can see a sparkle of light. And we are heading towards that sparkle of light. We're in this elevator of light, and we're moving really fast, heading straight up to, it's like a little star twinkling away far, far above us. And in a quiet moment, we can feel that we've moved through some kind of stargate, and we're now very close to a giant star of light. And we're still inside the bubble of light with our escort being with us inside there. And that bubble, like a little space vehicle, is hurtling in to the great giant sphere of light, which is this big star of light. We're going right into that light, that big giant light. It can, almost like if it was a movie, there'd be this little point, dark point, that's us, flying into this giant, almost like a sun. And we're heading straight to the center of it. And now we're coming close to the center of this big, giant force field of light. And we see a door. Don't get logical about this, guys. It's just a stargate. We push open the door and step through with your spirit escort together, holding hands. And as you step through that door, suddenly you look around and you notice that this is the largest, the most giant place of love. And coming towards you is a being. A very tall being. I, for some reason, quite often get a sense of a tall headdress and robes, which is kind of funny because they're just energy. And this is a creator being, and this being stands in front of you. And for a quiet moment, there is a moment of just stillness between you. This tall being standing in front of you. Your escort lets go of your hand and steps away to the side, and it's just you and this tall creator being. And this being sends a ray of light now straight into your third eye, into the center of your head. And that ray of light pushes light all the way through your being. It's like flushing with a liquid light right through your being. And we're just going to stay quiet. Now this being is going to scan us. So we're just waiting and just being quiet and feeling them push their consciousness into us. Really, really gentle. It's like a powerful intelligence is connecting with you and moving through all of the whole of what you are. Those of you who are a little bit sensitive and are used to energy healing, you might pick up that sensation of something scanning you. And I'm being asked to say that it's very respectful, very love-filled, very honoring of what you are as a spirit and as a being of light. The only reason this incredible being of light is doing this is to find out how they can help you. So they're taking their time, they're telling me they're reading the stories, they're reading the volumes of books of your history, of your Akashic records, where they need to, because the most important thing is to find out where you need help. This being now turns around and asks you to follow them, and there's a beautiful energy healing bed that they invite you to lie down on just for a moment. We're not going to go for very long, but they want to go deep just for a quick moment. They want to do a really deep healing on you. So we jump on the beautiful healing table, snuggle in, feel comfortable, and there's this very loving team of beings. To me, they're very, it's a very soft light. They're made out of very soft light. They're almost transparent. And their role, they've been asked to do a very deep and quick healing on you. So immediately, because I'm used to watching auric fields, I can feel them going straight in really, really fast, and they're working really deep. And I'm watching them go into your heart, chest area, your heart chakra. And they're telling me, because quite often there's a real stagnation in the heart chakra, they're telling me right now. And it's like concreted shadow energy is sitting there. And they would really love for that to be melted and softened and dissolved, so that there's a more sense of harmony sitting in your chest, and you're much more comfortable sitting in your self-love. That's the name of the game today. So this is where they're focusing. There's lots of other areas they're telling me that they can see that need work, but they just want to just really quickly go right into a really deep aspect of the heart chakra, where there has been sadness, where there has been like a jarring and scarring and fear. So I'm going to go quiet just for a moment. These beings are letting me know that there's so much, kind of showing me a really tall multi-storied building. And they're saying there's just so much on every floor of every layer in this chakra. So much work to be done. But they've gone to the basement, they're saying, and they're looking at what's sitting right at that deep structural foundational area. And they're just quietly pulling out some motherboards, some fear. So not taking too long. We're actually going to be finishing very soon, but this is what they're doing right now. They're opening it up for space, for light to come in. It's like opening up a dark room, opening the window curtains and opening the door and turning the light on. They want to create space and room for light down in that heart chakra, in the bottom basement, where sometimes fear as a residue just accumulates over lifetimes. And I just want to say in a moment, Sophie, you and I can keep talking, and these beings can just keep working a little bit while everybody's listening. Yeah, and when we finish, everyone who's listening, my recommendation is to lie down or just sit quietly in your chair and let them keep working on you for another 5 minutes or so after we finish. Sophie, what would you like to? How would you like to wrap up?
Well, first I want to thank you and the creator beings for this process, as short and as effective as it is, very profound. I experienced many moments of yawning, which I love. That's when I know that, okay, it is happening, right? Energy is shifting or being uplifted. And I love that they chose to focus on the heart chakra, because I feel that so many heart chakras are being challenged at the moment. So again, this is very, very timely. So thank you for that, which, yes, keeps unfolding as we're talking. So I want to wrap up before we get to our special announcement. I want to wrap up Alicia's special offer. So go to gracefulconnections.com/Festival Alicia. If you're on the webcast, click the button or the link on the replay, just scroll down the page and discover Alicia's special offer. This is for the light workers, for the light beings, for the light holders. And you have option 2, the Divine Self-Love Live Spirit Surgery Session. And option 1 is this live session plus an on-demand deep dive energy healing workshop, the Soul Light Body Rewiring. And with both options 2 and option 1, you have the bonus soul workout, 26 module series of 5-minute soul workout with Alicia. Now, with that special announcement, Alicia is generously offering a fast action bonus for any purchases, either option 1 or option 2, by Sunday, October 12th at midnight Pacific. Alicia, please tell us about your fast action bonus, the Highlight Healing.
You're getting such a package, everyone, of healing. And so this fast action bonus is a 45-minute, very, very powerful light infusion. We get taken up into a very high space of light. And the focus of this particular one, it's about 40 minutes, is standing under a waterfall of light. It's very, very powerful infusion of light. So, and also there will be some actual rewiring as well, and spirit surgeon technicians will be in attendance as well. But this particular one is increasing your light quotient. That's, yeah, you will love it. Very, very powerful.
Mm-hmm. Sounds very nourishing.
Hmm.
Nourishment with light. Yeah. Wow. I want to stand under this waterfall of light. Okay, everyone, Fast Action Bonus expires on Sunday, October 12th at midnight Pacific. So add this highlight healing, this waterfall of light, this nourishment with light, add it to your package option 1 or option 2. Alicia, are there any words of closing that you or the creator beings would like to share with us? You've shared so much already, but if there's anything you or they would like to add, you're very welcome to do so.
Let me just tune into them. They're very aware that everyone is still on those healing tables, and that they're telling me to say, and that the technicians are still with you, and that after this call, when we finish, just stay there for another 5 minutes. The way that you notice that they've finished, or whenever you need to get up, let them know first, give them notice, because there's a lot of, they have to pull out all their, it's like jumping off a surgery table. They have to kind of get everything ready for you to jump off. So let them know if you have to go. Other than that, just stay until you feel the way I feel it, is that there's a cocoon around me, and when that cocoon kind of opens and releases away from me, and I feel like moving my body and getting up, that's when it's time. They've completed all the processes. They've put all my soul bodies back together again, and they are almost prompting me to open my eyes and take a deep breath and stand up. So you'll get that sensation. You'll get that feeling. It's very much an inner prompt from Spirit to finish the session. You'll feel it. So that's just one thing. And the last thing really is, the creator beings want to say, everyone listening to this, you are a light being, and you are all powerful. And in this lifetime, it behoves you to take the road, to take the journey, to remember that, to come to the remembrance of that. And so from where you are right now to the remembrance of that is a journey. And the creator beings are saying that they welcome you to walk with them on that journey of awakening. They would love to walk with you on that journey, to trigger and to offer the grace of divine self-love. They would love to offer that grace as a gift to you. That's the main thing they want to say. Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's take a moment to return to the awareness of the orb of grace surrounding us, allowing it to remain there, holding us, holding all that we have received, experienced today, all that we're not even yet aware we have received, allowing it to sink in, to settle in, as we are held in the orb of grace for as long as it serves our highest good, our evolution, and the highest good of all. And I'm closing now by offering my deepest gratitude to all of you, whether you're here live or on the replay. Thank you for answering yes to the calling of the grace of divine self-love as creator beings. Activate your divine remembering. Infinite gratitude to our brilliant channel of grace, Alicia Power, for all the wisdom, the illumination, the sacred offerings, and the tremendous support for the light beings that you have gifted us today. Thank you, Alicia. Alicia, thank you, creator beings, for showing up for us today. Thank you. And gratitude to the Orb of Grace for holding us in this safe, sacred sanctuary. Gratitude for all the grace we are blessed with at every moment, offering nourishment, healing, and insights we open our hearts to receive. Gratitude to our higher selves and all the higher beings who guide, support, and protect us, and to the divine presence that flows through all that is. Until we meet again very soon, may graceful blessings shower upon us all. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, everyone. And goodbye now.